When Clair Obscur Expedition 33 first appeared on my radar, I was intrigued by it, but the turn-based aspect of it was making me a little suspicious. I'm not traditionally the biggest fan of it, but a friend got me it, and boy oh boy, do I love this game. Let's jump right into it with gameplay. It is turn-based, but it puts a little twist on it by having quick time events. Now, before you click off, quick time events are done in the way of dodging, parrying, but also how you maximize your attack damage. It's a really clever way of using what I would say is such a simple mechanic and adding a twist to it that makes the gameplay really addicting to use. Also, I know I'm throwing this out there, this game runs great on Steam Deck, and it's made for an Xbox controller. You need to play with one. I think it's way better on it, and it really goes well with that turn-based combat. Combining all your abilities on one character, you can mix them with other ones in your party, such as, this character can buff this character, which buffs this one, which allows you to do a better attack. There's a lot of stuff you can do. I mean, there's even one video of a guy doing like 29, I think, billion damage. I don't know how I did it, but it takes like 7 minutes to do. It's a really interesting video, but the gameplay is very addicting and pretty easy to get into. Like, you may be worried about parrying if you played any of the Dark Souls games. I've never been able to get into parrying, and I've played all of them. This one you can get into, and it actually allows you to get into higher level boss fights that you're not necessarily supposed to get into if you're good enough at parrying, because you might be doing little bits of damage at a time, but you can survive, which I kind of like, because it's not a game that, is being like, oh, you can't go fight these bosses, it's way too difficult for you. You can fight them, you'll probably lose, which is a nice level of freedom that not a lot of games have. Graphics. To start with the menu design, the UI, just the way things are laid out, it's very easy, and it's a lot of detail. It's a really nice, it's a small touch, but it just shows the extra mile the team went to. And of course, the graphics are beautiful. It has real-time cutscenes, which I like. You get to see your character's outfits in real time. It's always a nice feature. But you really feel like you're stepping into a painting and getting to experience this fantastic world. Like, some of these designs of the levels, it's just like childlike wonder. It's a really fantastical experience, and it really got me sucked into it. I didn't expect it, but some of these places are just beautiful. There's a lot of environmental storytelling, and there's so much detail that went into it. It's gorgeous. Another thing that had a lot of detail is the characters. Now, it's not to say the characters are like relatable. I mean, they are relatable to the situation, but they're realistic to the situation. Games like Destiny 2 or Battlefield 2042, there's cataclysmic things happening, and they're doing the, Marvel thing, like, boy, that sure was close, and it takes you out of the experience. But for the situation the characters are in, they're always grounded. They feel realistic. It's enjoyable to listen to them. The voice acting is phenomenal. There's a fantastic cast. They suck you into the story really well. They never take away from it, which is something that not a lot of games do, but this game does really well. And something else that sucks you into it is the story. Brief synopsis. You live in Lumiere, and every year there's this giant monolith that has a countdown. It's 33, Expedition 33, and basically everyone at the age of 33, or whatever that number is, dies. They get Thanos'd away, or Gamaged, as it's called. So the survivors, everyone like 32 and under, they do these expeditions to try to defeat the Paintress, who's the one writing the numbers, to stop this cycle. That's basically all you need to know before you get into it. It's hard to talk about the story without spoilers, but it's a really personal story that asks you some really deep questions, but not in like a condescending or preachy way. It deals with personal subjects in a way that not many stories do, and it does it very tastefully. And one thing I especially enjoyed was the endings. They're done in such a way that it's entirely subjective, which is not something a lot of games can do. So many of them, even if they're trying to do that, it turns out where one's clearly black, one's white. This one does a great job of, again, it's entirely based on your perspective and opinion, and it leads to great discussion. Obviously, can't really talk about the endings, without spoiling it, but I can tell you this. It had me, the story had me, I couldn't see where it was going. One thing would happen, then another thing would get added, make you change your perspective, and when the ending hit, boy, that sealed the deal. I understood why this game got Game of the Year once I finished it. And another aspect that makes me realize it is the soundtrack. It's a really great thing just to listen to standard. Like, I love listening to like the Atomic Heart soundtrack. This is one I'm going to be adding. The soundtrack's phenomenal. It piques your interest is the best way I could describe it. And another thing that is really interesting about this game is the development behind it. There's a fantastic video I'll put on screen and link in the description that talks about it, and that it shows how much of a passion project this was, because the people who started it were ex-Ubisoft developers. They were tired of working at Ubisoft and like what was going on there, made their own studio, and them getting the cast on board, all these people who developed the game, just the things they were able to do. It's insane that this game actually exists and is as good as it is. For such a small team, everything that needed to click in perfectly did so. And again, the story behind this game is phenomenal. Even if you're maybe not the biggest fan of the game, I'm always a big sucker for these type of sort of underdog stories. And I think even from that perspective alone, that's a reason that I would want to support these guys. And maybe you're not the biggest fan of this game. You might try it and not be your cup of tea, but you might want to keep an eye on what they're doing next, because I mean, there is a reason this won Game of the Year. And also, after winning that, they released a free DLC, which goes to show you how cool of a development team they are. There's not a lot of teams that would do that. To conclude, Expedition 33 was a game that I was initially suspicious of, I guess you could say, but it blew away all my expectations. Gameplay-wise, super fun, super addicting to get into. A little repetitive, I will say, near the end, but that's also because I was literally fighting everything. I'm so used to playing Dark Souls games where, you fight more stuff, you level up. Dark Souls 2, you kill things 14 times, they don't come back to haunt you. The characters, phenomenally written. There's not many games or stories that I enjoy all the characters. I think Darley and the Franxx is one, that 15-episode show. But this was one that they pulled me deeper into the story. And also, something I liked about it is, like, I'm used to Dark Souls. I know I've mentioned that several times. And after finishing those games, you usually have to go into all the wikis to figure out what the hell is going on. This game, you go into the wikis, you go into forums to see other people's opinions and stuff like that, to have that discussion. I was not super thorough in the game. Like, there was actually entire areas I missed. I was pretty thorough, I thought. But I was able to grasp the whole story, which is something that's super nice for more of a casual gamer like me, because while I do like delving deep into the wikis, I also enjoy being able to process the story right from the start without having to rely on exterior sources, which is, again, a really nice part of how the game's writing. They did a fantastic job. Overall, I've said this again, Expedition 33 blew me away on every single level. It is one of my top games of all time, and I would highly recommend, if you are on the fence, to give it a shot. It's $40 on sale. I think you can even get it for like $30 or $20 on CD keys. But even so, if you pay full price, $60 for it, I think it's totally worth it. This is one of the few games that I would buy $60 flat out. I got about 25 hours of gameplay of it, which I think is, I'm not trying to be the guy who, equates, how many dollars per hour, but you don't need to do that with this game. It's a fantastic game. That's all I can say, and you should go experience it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too rambly. I'm very excited about this game. I just beat it, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. This has been the Duke, signing off.
Clair obscur dans des ronds pas, tu trouveras sans aide. Oh, clair, obscur, trouble, rature. Clair obscur, guardé aux peintures.